So how did you learn to grade? I mean, was it an apprenticeship, or was there any educational process, or was it just knowledge and dealer to dealer wisdom that was passed
The
amongst?
best way to learn how to grade is to when money meant something. So when you're 15 years old and you buy a barber quarter for $100 and you bring it to a coin show and you can only sell it for $80 and you're losing $20. When you're a kid, that's a lot of money, especially back in the '70s. That'd be like losing over $100 today. I've learned by losing money. I've learned by my mistakes. Fortunately, in 1979, 1980, again, like when I started in late '78, coins were starting to heat up a little bit. But as you know, in '79 we had bullion and gold and silver going higher. Uh, Jimmy Carter was in office. The dollar was a disaster. Going into 1980, there were many coins I was handling in January of '79 that between then and March of '80, April of '80, had gone up tenfold, right? Some even like Proof 3 cent nickels went up 15-fold. They went up from $150 to $3,000 and at less than a year and a half. And so back then, if you made mistakes, the market would bail you out, right? Because I mean, coins were going up 10% every week. It seemed like every coin show, coins cost 10% more. It was insane. And we were doing 40, 50 shows a year then. So and then things sort of, and then we had this deeper, we had the crash, a Central State show in April of '80, and then we had a rough 2 years there until the Volcker lowered interest rates at the ANA in August of '82. Then things started getting better, but it was a rough time. And the adage at the ANA show was like coins that were investment, what I considered nice coins, that gem seeded quarter, they were about 15 cents on the dollar. Some coins were 10 cents a dollar. That was sort of like the rule, 15 cents on the dollar of what the high was. So that 1885 quarter went from, I mean, it might have gone from, in superb gem, $900 to $22,000
Wow,
down to 3,000
wow. So
today. So again, I mean, yeah, but that was the mania. That was Jimmy Carter in office. Silver went from $5 to $50.
yeah,
Inflation was in the high teens, right? Things were crazy.
yeah. Well, and so the education of pre-slab coins was just trial and error and
Sure,
and
sure.
talking to your peers and what do you think this is? I think this is very fine or whatever it may be back in those days, right? Interesting. Interesting. So the Sheldon 70-point scale, was designed in '49 for large cents, and as a young dealer, as a young collector, did it seem adequate for the entire series, or were some of the limitations known early on, but it just became the standard by which we were
Oh,
going to
I
number
mean,
coins?
yeah, I mean, I never questioned it. I would always go by the term. And again, whether it was talking to Ed Hips or Gene Edwards, like if it was MS65, it was a gem. And I still today, before I look at a coin, before I'm in Virginia Beach, before I'm grading it or here stickering it, I'm to myself, is it a gem? A gem it must be, again, not a perfect coin, but it should be attractive. If it's not attractive, then it better be technically way above the others, right? So it's really a matter of there's three or four items that factor into coin grading, but to me, a gem is a gem. We talked about silver dollars the other day. For some reason, I've seen lately, I must have seen 10 or 15 coins here for stickering, which none of them stickered, but an 1891 silver dollar, like that was a coin when I was a kid. People like Bobby Emmer or Ed Hips would challenge me, hey, find me a $91 a gem, fully struck gem. And I would run around the floor at an entire Central States, entire coin show, not even find one coin, right? And back then, they might have been $300, $400. Maybe I was willing to pay double bid. Today, a CAC coin $6,000. But I gotta tell you, like lately, there must have been a horde of them come out, but a lot of really nice high-end coins have come out, but they're weakly struck and they're not stickering because they're not gems because they're not well struck. So as far as the grading scale goes, when I was a kid, for my whole life, if you had a silver dollar, especially and for the most part for omens, if it wasn't well struck, not fully struck, it wasn't a gem. So it wasn't a 65. I just correlate gem to 65. I correlate 63 to choice, and superb is 66. As far as all the other grades are concerned, I have issues with the Sheldon Steel because I believe that we've stretched it